Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fox Den Inn. My name is Ruby Madison, and I'm going to be talking about my mental health and how poorly I'm doing, or how good I'm doing, or whatever. And I'm also going to be talking about something that, quite frankly, needs to change from everyone else. Okay? First, then that there is that people don't seem to be understanding and believing me when I say that I'm a three-tailed fox humanoid girl thing. Okay? In Japanese culture, they're called kitsunes. But before I even knew what a kitsune was, since like the age of 2, this is what I've seen when I look through the mirror. And I didn't believe it either at first. Okay? Don't get me wrong. It wasn't until I was like 18, 19 years old that I started actually truly believing that something like this could even exist. But I can't change the fact that when I look through the mirror, this is what I see. And I know that seems completely far fetched and completely delusional, seeing as when you look at me face to face, right, and not in a digital atmosphere, things like that, you will see a guy. You probably even hear a guy. But that's what I mean. Is it me talking right now? Is not a male's voice, it's a female's voice. It always has been. It always will be. Okay? So people need to start really understanding that this is me. This is it. This is it. This is it. There's no other to it. The only, well, not entirely true. The only other to it is this shell that you see when you look at me directly. But if you look at me directly and all you can see is the shell, then I can't stop you from seeing that. But at the same time, you just have to believe me then. You have to. You have to start listening to what I'm saying. You have to believe me. This is me. Okay? This is me. Now, second thing I need to talk about is that I'm not the smartest person in the entire world. If I was, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now in my life in terms of education and progress and society and all that other stuff. But I'm 31 years old. I just finished grade 12. And people seem to not to blame me, and people seem to misunderstand the fact that I'm slow. I am slow. Okay? What I mean by slow isn't incapable of learning, isn't. Sorry, not trying to discriminate, but I need to make a point here and prove a point. It's more along the lines of it's like forgetful and distracting and incapable all at the same time of little things. My short-term memory isn't the greatest in either. I'm do the best I can, but I get blamed and I get bullied and treated like shit because I make simple mistakes over and over and over and over and over again nonstop. Or I need reminders from people in order to get certain things done. Or That's basically it. Or I guess rather than the fact that I am trying my best all the time to think about what I say before I say it. And it takes me a long time sometimes to even get those words together and out, sorted in my head. By the time I go to say them or come out, the topics for change, things have moved on, it's no longer relevant, etc., etc. Just like people need to fucking start believing that that I'm sorry I swore, that I am like this. Okay? I can't help it. If I could, I would change it, but I can't. It's like what you see on screen. I can't change that. I can't change the fact that that's what I am and who I am. That'd be like literally ripping part of my brain out and replacing it with new brain. It just doesn't work like that. That's not a reality that can happen just as much as what you see on screen can't actually be a reality either. I know, I get that, but at the same time, this is the reality. And finally, the last thing I want to get at is my depression. I won't deny that I have depression. I have mad depression. But for the reasons I have the depression, the, the and it's is partially self-diagnosed, but I mean, it's also like everybody says I have it, therefore I must have it. Right? I know. But I'm super sad. Before, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was super sad, like crazy super sad. But that was from all of the past before that, and etc., etc. And then things seem to like start taking a turn, as people would say, for the better. And I started to make certain changes in my life. And I started to progress and grow. And then in one fell swoop, it all was taken away from me. And now I have even less than what I started with 6 years ago, and even less than what I started from before that. It's taxing, it's draining, it's consuming to the point that I'm at my wits and I get frustrated at the simplest of things now. One simple insult and I'm fucking defeated. I swear again, I'm sorry. And I'm defeated for the rest of the day, sometimes days. I'm a really sad person right now. I'm a really sad being. Nobody believes what I look like. Nobody calls me Ruby. Nobody understands that I'm going to consistently be making the same still stupid, silly mistakes over and over and over again, no matter how hard I try. Nobody seems to understand that without reminders and without somebody to just come along and help me from time to time in order to keep progressing and moving, that I won't be able to do it on my own. I've been strong for as long as I possibly can, and now I'm finally getting to a point where I can no longer be strong.
I've been nice my entire life, or I've tried to be. Frankly, it seems true. Nice people do finish last. All I really wanted, just play games. All I've ever wanted to do was just play video games. As silly and childish as that may sound, it's always brought me the greatest joy. It's always brought me satisfaction, motivation, determination, and glee. It's always what's, I hate to say it, but it's always what's been there for me. And in a sense, I love video games in a way that most people say they love video games, they play video games when they get home from work, etc., but they still live life. I love video games to the point that I literally can't live without them. I go a day without them, and I'm off kilter and tilted, and I feel weird and strange, and it's bad in my mind. All I've really wanted to do in my entire life is just play video games, or do something with video games, make a video game. But I can't do the college university thing. I've tried this whole living on my own thing, and I can't do that. When I live on my own, absolutely nothing gets done. Until it gets to a point that it needs to get done, then it gets done. And some would say that's just being lazy. Maybe you're right. But if it were being lazy, then you would think after I was told that I was being lazy a million times in my life, I would learn that I'm being lazy. But I'm not! Look, I have a dog. I have a computer. I've done the best I can entire life. Like I just said, nobody calls me Ruby. Nobody knows. Nobody seems to actually believe and listen to the fact that I make the silliest of mistakes all the time, and I can't change that fact. Nobody can even so much as see me for who I really am. I'm not saying that I want special treatment or any of that shit. I'm not saying that I even deserve it. What I'm really saying is that people's perspectives really need to start changing, because I can't keep going on like this. I'm gonna go over the edge at this point. Once I go over the edge, there won't be me anymore. Not suicide, just I won't be me. There'll be a personality change, a paradigm shift that can't be unshifted. That scares me. That sincerely scares me. I don't know what else to say right now. I'm sad. I'm sad. I feel like I'm never going to succeed. I feel like I'm never going to be able to do the things that make me happy. I feel like I'm just going to become another cog in the machine, if that makes sense. And I don't want that. I know what makes me happy. Playing games. There's another dream I have. But if you've actually been paying attention all throughout my career, my life, all this other shit, then you already know that it's to have an inn where on this land, a spot on this land, where where everybody, no matter who you are, is welcome to come as long as you keep the peace. Remember, everybody's friends, and if you need something, I need it back as well. Because I can't sustain it, I can't keep it around for everybody to have if it gets consumed, used, or destroyed, and then not replaced. That's a silly business model at that point. Even then, it's not a business model, it's just a morality. Anyway, this video has gone on long enough. I'm sure you're done looking at a screen. I'm sure you're done listening to my depressed ass. And I'm sure that you have better things to do in your life. But this is my plea for help, I guess. This is my message to you all. This is my quote unquote bullshit. Everybody seems to think. So, shall we say, have a good one. Stay safe. Keep being awesome.